In this video, I'm going to discuss how the pandemic has actually affected my assisted living business and what I'm doing about it. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown this channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you have not yet, feel free to go check out the God Made podcast on all streaming platforms, and feel free to check out Legion Assisted Living Academy and Legion Assisted Living Advisors in the links down below. Feel free to do all of that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Now, many of you might be wondering, how is this pandemic really affecting me and other assisted living businesses? I could tell you right now that for me personally, in my assisted living care home and where I'm at in my location here in Gilbert Mesa area, I really haven't noticed too much change in the aspect of getting referrals. I've still been getting frequent referrals to my care home and been getting calls regardless of the pandemic. Now, one thing that has changed and that I've had to do differently, which I kind of was one step ahead of this when once I started realizing that this was really a better way of marketing, which was video, right? I did a video tour of my care home, a professional one, and I put it up on my website. I didn't have any idea that a pandemic was coming, but I did notice that people liked the videos from the website and that it gave them more of a sense of what they should expect when they come and tour the home, and they could really get a feel of what it's going to be like. When the whole pandemic hit, I was just able to send all my referral agents, if they were ever like, hey Serge, do you do any type of virtual tours? And I'm like, well, I actually have a video on my website that I've already done. I can send you the website. You can just go click on the video, and it's a tour of the home, of me giving the tour of the home. And so they were like, ooh, we love that. So that was one thing I had to start doing differently when I would get calls regarding any type of referrals or any type of tours that I would do for any future residents. So that was one thing that I recommend all care homeowners and all future care homeowners or assisted living owners to start doing. Do a virtual tour, hire a professional videographer to come, and you should essentially be the one doing the tour and being in the video, whoever the manager is or whoever the owner is, because that is who the family is going to be interacting with. So don't skip that vital step of making the video. Don't have your caregiver do it, or don't hire anybody else. I get it. It's not very comfortable being in front of the camera and doing the tour, but you have to get comfortable. I mean, you're doing these face-to-face interactions anyways when you do meet them to do the tour. So just act as if that's them and that you're giving them the tour, right? And so that is what I highly suggest, and that's what's really changed mainly for me and my business with the whole pandemic. Another thing that has changed is vaccines and all the masks, the mandatory masks or the recommendations, depending on where you're at and what state you're in. It could either be mandatory or it could just be a recommendation to keep people safe and keep your residents safe and keep your staff safe. Some care homeowners are either allowing visitations, or they're allowing limited visitations, or they're not allowing any visitations. Limited visitations meaning they're only letting medical staff, and they're only allowing immediate families such as the POA or like siblings to come into the home, but they all have to be wearing masks. So and then other care home owners are just allowing families to come stand outside the window and have a window screen between them, and they can just talk, or they just have the window shut and they're just like talking on the phone while they're seeing each other. So those are like the main things that have been changing within this industry, are honestly the tours, doing virtual tours with families, and then also visitations. Those are another big thing. With that though, it's very important that each care homeowner takes those things in consideration. Definitely do the virtual tours. Definitely get a video up of you doing a tour, a professional video. Don't just be like you on the iPhone camera just walking around. It's not very professional, and that actually reflects on you as a owner. So all you new care homeowners or assisted living owners and current assisted living owners, maybe that's something that you may want to consider to help get leads and get actual placement into your home during this pandemic. Another thing that is kind of the big talk of the whole industry really is vaccinations. Are you allowing vaccinations in your care home? Are you going to get your residents all vaccinated? Well, that's their right. You know, each person has a right to refuse or to get it, just like the flu shot, they have the right to refuse to get it. They just need to understand the consequences of getting it and not getting it, right? You need to explain that and educate them, and that is your job and the nurse's job to make sure that they do that and that they know all the facts about each thing. And so each care homeowner like myself, I'm not anti-vaccination on everything, but I'm also not pro-vaccination. I don't prefer being vaccinated. When I was working in the hospital, I did need to get those vaccinations done in order to work in the hospital because of my high risk of all the people coming in and out of the hospital. But I no longer work there, and I haven't gotten vaccinated with anything since. So it's not mandatory for me to get it. And so if that changes, then, I'll reconsider it then. But until then, I'm just not going to get vaccinated. And the same with my residents. If they choose not to get vaccinated, they don't need to go get vaccinated. When the whole COVID testing thing was going on with the care homes and the assisted living homes, that was another thing, right? They had the right to refuse to not get tested if they didn't want to get tested. So, each person can make that decision for themselves, and the POAs, that's what they're there for. If they feel comfortable with the residents getting vaccinated, then they can go get vaccinated. But regardless, though, that is a decision that needs to be made and needs to be addressed when you're a business owner in this industry. So for me, I'm not going to do it. It's a pretty simple no. I don't need to go do it. I'm not worried about it. And then my residents, they're probably not going to go do it from just talking to the families and the POAs. My staff is probably not going to, maybe they will. I don't know. I haven't really discussed that with them. I'm not going to make it mandatory for them to go get it. So it's each their own. But regardless, though, that's really what I've noticed with this whole pandemic, and the biggest changes in how it's affected my business is the virtual tours, also visitations, and then vaccinations. Those are the three big things that I've noticed within this industry, and you just need to address them all, and I'm here to address them all. And if you guys found value in this video, please hit that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and I will talk to you all in the next video.